if you're hearing this, it's already too late. People think the silence is the danger. It isn't. It's what follows you out of it. You didn't just press play. You brought it with you. Stay. This is dead air. I used to think there were only two kinds of fears. The kind you feel before something happens, and the kind you feel after. I was wrong. There is a third kind. The kind that changes the shape of the world forever. The kind that makes you realize reality is thin, fragile, like wet paper stretched over something alive. Ethan and I left the city in October. We'd been together almost 3 years, and things had felt strained lately. Not in a dramatic way. No screaming matches, no cheating. Just distance, like we were slowly becoming strangers who knew each other's favorite foods. So, he planned a trip.
No phones, no stress, just us.
He told me with that crooked smile I loved. I remember laughing as he tossed our bags into the trunk. You sound like you're taking me into the woods to murder me. He grinned.
Only a little.
If I'd known what was waiting for us near Stillwater Lake, I would have run. The drive took almost 6 hours. The deeper north we went, the emptier the roads became. Forest swallowed everything, endless black pines, mountains hiding behind thick fog. The radio kept cutting out. Not static, exactly. More like voices. Fragments of whispers buried beneath the music. At first, I thought it was interference. Then Enid frowned and turned the volume down.
Do you hear that?
I listened. For a second, there was only crackling static. Then, don't let it see you. I froze. The voice sounded way wrong. The station immediately cleared again. A cheerful song filled the car. Ethan laughed nervously.
Oh, okay. Nope. Hate that.
Probably some weird signal crossing stations,
Yeah.
he said quickly, but he kept glancing at the radio after that. The cabin sat beside Stillwater Lake. It was beautiful in the daytime. Dark wood walls, huge windows facing the water, mountains surrounding us on all sides like giant sleeping things. No neighbors, no signal, no sound except wind through trees and the soft movement of water. At first, it felt perfect, exactly what we needed. We cooked dinner together, drank wine, played cards by the fireplace, and for the first time in months, we felt normal again. I remember Ethan pulling me into his lap while the fire crackled.
You know,
He murmured into my hair.
I miss this.
Me too. Outside, the lake reflected the moon perfectly. Too perfectly. The water looked flat, still, like glass. No ripples, no movement, even though the wind outside was strong enough to shake the trees. I stared at it through the window. Something about it bothered me. Ethan noticed.
What is it?
The lake.
What about it?
I swallowed. It doesn't look right. He smirked softly.
You've watched too many horror movies.
Maybe I had. God. I wish that had been true. That night, I woke up around 2:13 a.m. I don't know what woke me. The room was freezing. The fire downstairs had died. Moonlight spilled through the cabin windows in pale silver lines. Beside me, Ethan slept heavily. Then I heard a sound outside. Not footsteps, not branches. Breathing, slow, deep, right beneath the bedroom window. I stopped breathing entirely. The sound came again. Wet, inhaling, like lungs filled with water. I sat up carefully. The curtains beside the bed moved slightly. Something stood outside. I couldn't see it clearly, just height, a shape darker than the trees, watching. Every instinct in my body screamed at me not to look directly at it. My chest tightened. I reached over and shook Ethan hard. Ethan? Nothing. Ethan? He groaned. There's something outside. That woke him instantly. He sat up fast.
What?
I pointed toward the window. The shape was gone. Only trees remained. Ethan got out of bed and checked downstairs while I stayed frozen beneath the blankets. He returned a few minutes later.
There's nobody out there.
I heard breathing.
You probably just had a nightmare.
I was awake. He hesitated, then climbed back into bed.
You just creeped out because we're isolated.
I wanted to believe him so badly. But as I lay back down, I noticed water on the wooden floor beneath the window. Small puddles, like something soaking wet had stood there. The next morning, Ethan acted normal. Too normal. I tried to convince myself I imagined it. We spent the afternoon hiking around the lake. The woods were naturally quiet. No birds, no insects, nothing. Even Ethan noticed it eventually.
This place is dead.
I forced a laugh. Maybe it's just cold. Then we found the deer, or what was left of it. Its body hung twisted beneath two trees, split open, organs missing. But the worst part was the expression frozen on its face. Terror, pure terror. Ethan stared at it silently. What animal does that? I whispered.
I don't know.
Then we heard the splash out on the lake. We both turned. Something large moved beneath the water, not swimming, circling. The surface bulged upward slowly, like something enormous was rising from the bottom. Ethan grabbed my hand.
Back to the cabin, fast.
Night came too quickly after that. The storm rolled in around sunset. Rain hammered the roof. Wind screamed through the trees. The power went out just after 9 p.m. The cabin fell into darkness. We lit candles, neither of us mentioning leaving. The road back down the mountain flooded easily. We'd seen the warning signs on the drive up, so we stayed. Big mistake. Around midnight, someone knocked on the front door. 3 slow knocks. Ethan and I stared at each other. Nobody should have been out there, especially not in the storm. The knocking came again. Slow, heavy. Ethan stood carefully. "Don't open it," I whispered immediately.
What if someone needs help?
No, I don't know why I said it so fast, but every nerve in my body knew something was wrong. Then came a voice, a woman, crying. "Please, please let me in." I felt my stomach drop, because the voice sounded rehearsed, like someone pretending to be human. Ethan moved toward the door anyway. "Ethan," another knock interrupted me, this time harder. The walls actually shook. "Please." The voice changed on that word. Deeper, wet, something underneath it. Ethan stopped moving. We both stared at the door. Then, slowly, water began sliding underneath it. Dark lake water. The smell hit next. Rot, mud, decay, and something else. Something metallic. Blood. The crying voice outside became distorted, stretching unnaturally. "Let me in." Then came the scratching. Oiling claws dragging across wood. The entire cabin trembled. I started crying without realizing it. Ethan grabbed the fireplace poker with a white knuckle. The scratching suddenly stopped. Silence. Then footsteps. Circling the cabin. Heavy. Slow. Not 2 legs. Too many. Something brushed against the walls outside, long enough to scrape across multiple windows at once. "Impossible," Ethan whispered.
What the fuck is that?
I had no answer. Then we heard it. From the lake.
Help me!
A scream. Human. Desperate. A man screaming for help. We ran to the window instinctively. Lightning flashed, and for one horrifying second, we saw him. A man waist deep in the lake, reaching toward shore. Something beneath the water held him in place. He screamed again.
Help me!
Then the water around him moved. Not waves, hands. Dozens of pale hands racing from beneath the surface, pulling him down. Ethan shouted and grabbed the flashlight.
We have to help him.
No! But he already ran for the door. Ethan! He threw it open. Rain exploded inside. The cold hit like knives. I chased after him, screaming his name. Ethan! The man in the lake kept shrieking.
Please.
Ethan sprinted toward the shore. Lightning flashed again. That's when I saw it. The man had no legs. His body ended at the waist. Everything below that was gone. And yet, he still stood there, smiling. Ethan stopped dead. The screaming stopped instantly. Silence. Then the thing in the lake opened its mouth impossibly wide, and every hand beneath the water pulled upward at once. Something enormous rose behind it. Not fully, just enough. Enough for me to see eyes. Hundreds of eyes opening beneath the water. Ethan backed away slowly.
Blair.
His voice broke. Then the thing moved. Faster than anything that size should move. The lake exploded upward. A mass of black limbs and human faces shrugged from the water. Ethan didn't even have time to scream. 1 second, he was there. The next, something wrapped around him and ripped him backward into the darkness. I heard bones snap. A tearing sound. Then nothing. No splash. No scream. Gone. Just gone. Right in front of me. I stood there frozen in the rain. My mind refused to understand what I'd seen. Then, from somewhere out on the lake, I heard Ethan's voice.
Blair.
Soft, weak.
Help me.
I started sobbing because it sounded exactly like him. Every instinct begged me to run to the water. But then the voice repeated again.
Blair.
And this time, dozens of other voices whispered beneath it, layered together, hungry.
Blair.
I ran. I ran back into the cabin and locked every door. Outside, Ethan kept calling for me until sunrise.
Blair.
And every hour, his voice sounded less human.
Blair.
You felt it, didn't you? That moment where something changed. You almost heard it. Play it back. It's clearer the second time. You've been listening to Dead Air. If you enjoyed the episode, follow the show. And remember, listen closely. New episodes every week. Good night. You stayed. We knew you would.
Don't turn around.